everyone. We are now in our week 10 lesson, which is our topic for this week is about exponential equations and exponential inequalities. Okay, so before we proceed to exponential equations and inequalities, let us review first the laws of exponents. So we have here the expression 2 exponent 7, which is 2 is our base. Okay, so this is our base, and 7 here is our exponent. So kindly take note of that 2 here is a base and 7 here is our exponent. So we have here the laws of exponent. If we have the same base, if we are multiplying a number or a variable with the same base, you just simply add their exponents. So for example, we have a exponent m times a exponent n. So you just simply copy the base and then you add their exponent. If and only if you are multiplying the same base. So kung hindi gani the same ang base, then wala gina-add ang aton nga exponents. Next, we have, so if we are dividing a number or a variable with the same base, this is indicate division. So dapat may harap kita di ang bar sign. So we have here a exponent m divided by a exponent n. So if the base are the same, then you just subtract the exponent. So exponent sa numerator, which is m, then you minus the exponent from our denominator. Okay, so let's have here an example for number 1. For example, 2 squared times 2 cubed. Since we do have the same base, so we just copy the base, which is 2, and then you add the exponent. 2 plus 3, that is 5. So this is now your answer by simplifying this. So 2 exponent of 5, that is 32. Okay, so that's it, how you do the first law of exponent. How about for the second law? So we have, if we have 2 exponent of 5 divided by 2 exponent of 3. So that is, you copy the base, which is 2, and then 5 minus 3, that is 2. So 2 squared is 4. So that's how you use the second law of exponent. Next, we have here the quantity a exponent m times the exponent n. So how we do that? Okay, so let me have there an example. For example, our base is 2, and then our exponent is 7, and then multiply it by another exponent, which is 2. Okay, so just simply copy the base, which is 2, and then you multiply the exponent. 7 times 2, that is 14. So 2 exponent of 14, that is 16,384. So I am requiring you to use a scientific calculator, or you can download it to your phones if you can't afford to buy a calculator. So pwede ka maka-use ng cellphone. Or pwede man siya sa ordinary calculator, galing ayawan lang ka. Pero mas nami ang scientific calculator. Okay, next, if we are using the law of exponent number 4, which is the quantity a times b times the exponent n. So that is by using the distributive properties. So we have here our base, for example, is AB or 2a. 2a na lang. And then our exponent here is cube. So we have 2 cubed and then a cubed. So by simplifying, we have now 2 cubed, that is 8, and then a cubed. So this is now our final answer. You just simply distribute the exponent inside the parentheses. Okay, next, if we have here, so mayroon na di dapat bar symbol is equal to, so that is a divided by b, exponent n. So you just simply distribute the exponent n to our numerator and denominator. So here we have a divided by b, exponent of negative n. So that is just doing the reciprocal. So that is b over a, and then we have now a positive exponent. Same also here. May mga ano na di, bar symbol or the obolus or fraction bar rather, fraction bar. So we have a exponent of negative n over b exponent of negative m. By doing its reciprocal, we have now m exponent of positive m and a exponent of positive n. So mayroon man kita di example sa piyan. So dapat mayroon na di bar sign, the fraction bar. Okay. Now we have here our pre-activity. Solve the following exponential equations by using laws of exponents. Okay, so we have here the same base. So we just simply add the exponent. The answer is 2 exponent of 5, or that is 2 times exponent of 5. The answer is 32. Oops. So this is 32. Next we have 3 exponent of 6 divided by 3 exponent of 4. That is, copy the base and then you subtract the exponent. 6 minus 4, that is 2. So 3 squared, that is 9. Okay, next. So 5 squared times the exponent of 2. So you just simply multiply the exponent to the another exponent. So we have 5 exponent of 4, or that is 625. Okay, so how about here? You just simply distribute the exponent to our numerator and denominator. O sige, o kamo na lang na bahala, simplify. And then we have here 8 times 2 exponent of 4. So since in the same base ang aton nga duha ka numbers here, ang duha ta ka base hindi the same. So what we need is we need to manipulate 8 so that we have now the same base. So ang 8 pwede tani siya ma-write as 2 cubed. Since 2 cubed, that is still 8 times 2 exponent of 4. Since we do have now the same base, we can simply add exponent to exponent of 7. Okay, just simplify it there. So I hope you understand in this part. In simplifying expressions, exponential expressions by using the laws of exponents. Now let's proceed to exponential equation. It's an equation in which the variable is located in the exponent. So take note of that. Dapat ang aton variable ara sa aton nga exponent. So for example, we have here our base, which is 3, and then our exponent x minus 2 is equal to 81. So steps in solving exponential equations. So we have here a exponent of x is equal to a exponent of y if and only if x is equal to y. So we write both sides of the equation with the same base. Then step 2, set the exponents equal to one another. And step 3 is solve for x, and step 4 is check for your solution. So we have here an example, 2x is equal to 64. So since we don't have the same base o both sides of the equation, so ang 64 can be also written as 2 exponent of 6. So kagi na to bala sa steps, di ba may kita nga x is equal to y, then therefore pwede ta na ma-equate ang aton nga exponent. So pwede na ni ma-remove ang aton nga base. So we have now x is equal to 6. Okay, so for letter B. So any question how we get this 6? Ari lang og ging copy ko na lang sa babaw. Ang ato nga exponent which is x equals 6. Okay, for letter B we have here 3 exponent of 2x is equal to 27 exponent of x minus 4. So we don't have the same base, so dire ang base ta is 3 and dire is 27. So 27 can be written also as 3 cube. Since 3 cube equal lang siya sa 27. So ang tricky part in this, in solving exponential is dapat kabalo ka mag-transform a number into its exponential equivalent. Samo na di dapat ang inyo nga ma-master. So we have 27 can be written also as 3 cube, and then you just copy the exponent x minus 4. Okay, so since we do have the same base, pwede tayo siya maka-cancel out danay, and then solve for the exponents. So we have 2x is equal to, so you copy here the exponent 3, then times the quantity x minus 4 tanga exponent. And then you apply the distributive property sa right side sa ato ni equal sign. We have here 3 times x, that is 3x. And then 3 times negative 4, that is negative 12. Okay, next is you simplify, you combine all like terms or similar terms. So, i-combine tatanan nga may variable x sa left side sang equal sign by, so paano tayo ma-remove si positive 3x? That is by subtracting both sides of the equation by 3x. So, nag-minus kita both sides. So, diri ko na lang siya ginsalot ha. Pero diri na siya dapat ginsulat sa diri nga part. Okay, so we have now 2x minus 3x. So 3x minus 3x, this becomes 0. So nabilin is negative 12. Okay, so 2x minus 3x, that is negative x, equals negative 12. So dapat ang atong variable x is positive. So we divide both sides, or pwede man we multiply both sides by negative sign. Since negative times negative, that becomes positive. So we have now x equals positive 12. So this is the value of our x from the exponent. So I hope you understand. Next, let's proceed to our next example. We have 5 exponent of the quantity x plus 2 equals 125 exponent of 2x. So since we don't have the same base here, so let's think about what is the equivalent exponential form of our 125? So that is 5 cubed. And then, since we have the same base, pwede na siya i-cancel out danay, and then we just simply solve by our exponent. So, i-solve ta lang using sa aton nga exponent, which is x plus 2, and then ang exponent nga 3, and times the quantity 2x. Okay, so you use the distributive property. So 3 times 2x, that is 6x. And then you combine like terms. So tanan niya may variable x, ibutan na siya sa left side, and then tanan niya wala variable x dira sa right side sa aton nga equal sign. Okay, so x minus 6x, that is negative 5x, equals negative 2. So, basta may questions ka mo kung paano na de. So, paano ko ni ma-transfer si 6x? That is by subtracting both sides of the equation by 6x. So, ang matabo, this becomes x, minus mo ko di 6x. So, this becomes x plus 2 minus 6x equals, So, x plus 2 minus 6x equals 0. Since 6x minus 6x, that is 0. So, ang bawal ko, diba, sa left side, dapat may mga variable x lang. So, paano ko ni ma-remove si positive 2? That is by subtracting both sides of the equation by 2. So, ma-minus ko dito. So, si 6x equals, so, ma-minus mo ko 2 sa pihak sang equal sign. So, this becomes 0. So, ang nabilin is x minus 6x equals negative 2. Amo ni siya. Ma-part ang akong ginsolve. Okay, and then we have now x minus 6x, that is negative 5x, equals negative 2. So, we are solving for the value of x. So, paano ko ni ma-remove si negative 5? That is dividing both sides of the equation by negative 5. So, kung nag-divide ko di negative 5 sa left side, ma-divide mo ko sa right side negative 5. So, negative 5 divided by negative 5, that is 1. Then, 1 times x is still x. And the answer here is negative 2/5 divided by negative 5, that is positive 2/5. Since negative divided by negative, that is positive. So this will be our answer 2/5. Okay, now let's proceed to exponential inequality. Is an inequality which have variables in the exponents. So the difference between exponential inequality and exponential equation, we are solving for a certain value of x sa exponential equation so that both sides of our equal sign must be equal. Sa ato naman yung exponential inequality, so, either on the left side or the right side sa aton equal symbol ang greater than or less than. Okay, so for example, we have here 4 exponent of 3x plus 2 is less than 64. Okay, then for step 1, we have here steps in solving exponential inequalities. So for step 1 is write the inequality in standard form. One side must be 0 and the other side is a single exponential expression of which we denoted by f of x, and then find the critical numbers. These are zeros of f of x. Step 3 is divide the number line into several according to the critical numbers obtained in step 2. And then for step 4, choose a test value in each interval in step 3 and construct a table of substitute the given value to f of x and determine the sign of the resulting answer. Okay, so ang step 3 here is the same also sa process ng aton nga ang last time ng mga na-solve. So let's give here an example para masapos. Okay, so for example, we have here 2 exponent of x plus 1 is greater than 32. So write the inequality in standard form. So we have, so mga ganin standard form, dapat ang sa right side sa aton inequality must be 0. So paano ko ni mahimo si 32 0? That is by subtracting both sides of the inequality by 32. Para mahimo na siya 0. So anong pwede ko i-minus para mahimo 0 si 32? Of course, ma-minus ko sang iyang self. Okay, so we have now, and then you change this into f of x equals. So, nga rito balaong nga 2 exponent x plus 1 minus 32, i-change na sa into f of x equals 2 exponent x plus 1 minus 32. Okay, so for step 2 is to find the critical numbers by finding the zeros of f of x. So how do we find the zeros of f of x? The same also, mag-solve ka bilang ng exponential equations. Mula na siya mag-solve ka zeros or daw ka baga find the value of x lang. So we have here 2 exponent of x plus 1 minus 32 equals 0. And then solve for x. So since 2 here is our base, and then sa right side ng equal sign, ang aton base here is 32. So hindi the same aton base. So ano himuon ta? So let's try to think what is the equivalent exponential form of 32. So that is 2 exponent of 5. And then since we have now the same base, pwede ta na siya danay ma-cancel out to solve for our exponent. So we have now x plus 1 is equal to 5, and x equals 5 minus 1, so x is equal to 4. So therefore, our critical number is 4. So anong tanan siya karon si 4? So plot the critical numbers only on the number line to separate it into two intervals. So illocate ta si 4 sa ato nga number line, which is here. So we use the hollow circle in plotting our point or our critical number. So let's separate here by creating a line. So ang sa left side sa ato nga 4 is negative infinity going to 4. And then sa right side sa aton nga 4, nga critical number from 4 going to positive infinity. So, makreate lang kamo di line. So, from 4 or from negative infinity pakadto sa kay positive 4, and then halin kay 4 pakadto naman sa kay positive infinity. Okay, so for step 4 is choose a test value in which interval in step 3 and construct a table. Substitute the test value of f of x and determine the sign of the resulting answer. The sign of this answer is either positive or negative, will be the sign of the entire interval. Okay, so our test value. So, di ba kagina gintunga tato ang aton nga number line into 2. May ara kita from negative infinity pakadto kay positive 4, and then may ara kita positive 4 pakadto kay positive infinity. Okay. So, you look for a test value or any value of x which is less than 4. So, ano nga number ang mas nubo sa 4? So, in this case, ang gin-use ko is 0. So, pwede ka mo ka-use 3.93210 negative, o depende sa inyo. But there is a akong case, I use 0, and then you also choose a number which is greater than 4. So, pwede ka mo ka-use 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. Depends sa inyo kung gusto nyo may decimal or wala. So, in this case, ang gin-use ko is 5. So, pwede man sa 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Depende sa inyo. Okay, so we have here our f of x. So, ano to guys? Kaginang aton nga equation. So, let's substitute the value of x to our equation. Ang kagina to sa aton step 1. Just substitute the value of x. So, the result here is negative 30. And then, if you substitute the value of x sa aton nga step 1 to kaginang equation, the answer is 32. Okay, so the sign of f of x is negative since negative 30 ang result, and then here is positive since we have a positive 32. Okay, so use the table to determine which interval satisfy the inequality. Since the inequality is in the form of f of x is greater than 0, then the solution must be x is greater than 4. In the interval notation, the answer is 4 up going to positive infinity. This solution can be graphed on a number line. So, ang part nga nag-satisfy sa aton inequality is diri nga sa right side sang aton nga 4 sa aton critical numbers. So nga since dapat f of x must be greater than 0. So di ba ang result to kagina is negative 30. So negative 30 is not greater than 0. Di ba? Negative 30 is greater than 0, which make our inequality false. So kagina to yung isa naman is 32 is greater than 0, which is correct. Mas dako man din si 32 kaysa kay 0. So that's why ang gimpili ta is ang ari di sa right side sa aton niya critical number na solution. So our solution set is 4 going to positive infinity. Okay, so that's all. I hope you had learned something from our topic, and if you have questions, kindly message me to our group chat. And thank you for listening. God bless us all. Keep safe.